Why is it always about Singapore, a country with the narrowest area in Southeast Asia, yet succeeded in becoming the center of international activity? Maybe for those who have been to Singapore, it's not surprise why it's always an option: safe, orderly, stable politics, low tax, smart people, complete infrastructure. Everything is in Singapore. But do you know, when it gained independence, Singaporeans were poor and uneducated. No natural resources, many were illiterate, still importing clean water from Malaysia. Yet, in the short time, Singapore transformed into an economic hub bridging Asia and the world. How? Even with a small area and no natural resources? In the beginning, Singapore gained independence not from colonialism, but from being expelled by Malaysia due to ethnic riots and political disagreements. With no capital except its people and strategic location, Singapore opened its door to the world. During the Cold War, it offered itself as a military base for US and UK, ship earning millions of dollars, equal to 20% of national income in 1968. From there, Singapore built trust, legal certainty, zero corruption, and investor-friendly tax laws. After the Vietnam War, it revitalized its port with modern technology and became one of the busiest in the world. Foreign investment flowed in, and the government upgraded education, built vocational schools, trained workers in key sectors. Others were moved into service and tourism. Low-value industries like textiles, Singapore transitioned in the 80s to high-value industries, pharma- pharmaceuticals, biotech, shipping, software, and electronics. By 1990, 40 giant semiconductor companies operate there. Then came Changi Airport, one of the most advanced, not just an airport, but a national icon, a branding face of Singapore. The city itself was organized for tourism, business, event, shopping, every inch optimized for economic value. All of this thanks to a firm government with the strict laws, harsh penalties for corruption, drugs, even littering and disturbing public order. But at the same time, Singapore offered tax relief, security, intelligence, and legal certainty, attracting, attracting thousands of global companies. This is how Singapore became a small country with a huge economic appeal in Southeast Asia. Yet, all this development didn't come without strong control. Freedom of expression isn't as free as in other democracies. Protests and unions are often suppressed if they disrupt development. So, which is better? Singapore, clean, safe but less free, or Indonesia, high freedom but frequent disruption. That's my review of this tiny neighbor that become Southeast Asia's ambassador with no resources but full of vision. So, what are we gonna talk about next?
Singapore currently faces several key issues, including a water crisis due to limited natural freshwater source, as well as demographic challenge with very low fertility rates, potentially leading to long-term population decline. In addition, the urban heat island effect and loss of green space exacerbate climate change and public health. Social issues such as homelessness and economic hardship also remain a concern, despite the government continue effort to provide solutions. These issues demand innovative and sustainable policies for Singapore to maintain its quality of life and stability.
The urgency of smart city development in Singapore. The urgency of smart city development in Singapore is driven by several critical factors that require innovative solutions, like the first one is too small and overcrowded. Imagine Singapore as a small house with too many people living in it. The country is tiny, only as big as central Jakarta, but has a huge population that keeps growing. As a result, roads are congested, housing is expensive, and all facilities are overcrowded. The second one is aging population like many developer countries. Singapore has more and more elderly people. This means fewer people working, more people needing healthcare, and higher living costs and government expenses. The third one is no natural resources. Singapore doesn't have oil, gas, or mines like Indonesia. They have to import almost everything they need, including water and food. So they need to be smart about finding other ways to survive. The fourth one is digital and economic transformation. The Smart Nation initiative promotes the adoption of technologies such as cashless payment system for public transportation and smart home management systems with AI-powered solution. Singapore, becoming a smart city is not just about prestige or following trends. It's literally a matter of survival. Without technology, they cannot solve the fundamental problems they face as a small country with a large population. Singapore's Smart Nation initiative showed that digital transformation is not a choice, but an urgent necessity to ensure the long-term sustainability and prosperity of this city-state.
Next is issues, challenge, strength, and appreciation of Singapore. About the issues, Singapore faces limited land, an aging population, and heavy reliance on imports. It also struggles with complex system integration and high infrastructure costs in developing its smart city. The key challenge of Singapore was include privacy concern, extensive surveillance, unequal tech access, resistance to change, complex regulation, and cybersecurity threats. The strengths of Singapore was Singapore excels in smart transport, digital public service, and equality infrastructure. It also leads in innovation, healthcare tech, and economic digitalization. Appreciation that Singapore has it, that they are globally recognized, and Singapore's smart cities improve quality of life, safety, and sustainability, serving as a model of urban resilience and innovation.
Life, smart economy, the digital economy serves as the backbone of Singapore growth strategies to develop ecosystem in AI. Fintech and startup are supported by adaptive regulation and innovation-friendly incentive. The digital sector substantial contribution to GDP reflect the successful integration of technology into the city economic structure.
In addition, economic policies that can be carried out by the Singapore government consistently to maintain a safe and controlled business can climate such as the is business certainly and economic regulation, which is a driving factor in the entry of foreign investment, especially in Singapore, can implement specialist policies such as the Economic Development Board or ADB, which function to identify the trend on global economic growth and design long-term strategies. This strategy can be interpreted as a basic form of the hands of the state in the mercantilism and liberalism models.